After discovering his passion for travel at an early age and founding his own European travel business, our next speaker has been making waves at one of the premier hotel meta-search companies. Please welcome Managing Director and Chief Revenue Officer of Trivago, Johannes Thomas.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Great pleasure.
So Johannes, I don't know how much you talk to John Kim, and we'll get into your new relationship with HomeAway a bit more later, but he just gave this presentation. It was really not what I was expecting. He gave this presentation on how the human impact of technology and some of the problems that presents, which of course is the topic that you and I and a couple of other gentlemen closed down the restaurant last night, talking about workforce automation and what implications that might have. So does the social and political impact of workforce automation, does it concern you, and is it something that you think our industry has any responsibility on?
It's a huge question where you can talk a lot about, as we saw yesterday night. I think I am as much concerned as I am excited about it, because the whole opportunity, and I think one of the most exciting charts in John's presentation was the chart which shows the adoption time of technology and how much it is reducing. And I strongly believe that this will reduce even more. And we have new technologies, AI, but there's also nanotechnology, biotech, there is the blockchain, a lot of other technologies that have a huge impact and will have an even bigger impact than what we have seen in the past, and revolutionizing, will have pretty much an impact on every part of our lives and even change us as humans, how we are operating, and that will be super exciting. I think everybody who is in business has a responsibility to understand how to deal with the challenges that are coming along with that, and how we can find exciting jobs, exciting new opportunities for everybody, because we have in society a common interest to have a wealthy future for everybody. Yes. So
some responsibility, and we fixed it though. Like at some point last night, didn't we fix it or no?
I think we agreed to disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end, it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
And are our social, economic, political systems prepared for that? I think it's impossible to predict, and we will see. And I think humans have a lot of talent to solve problems, and when they are here and they become bigger, then we will be creative about it. I'm very confident on that. Yeah.
Hope we can keep up with the acceleration. So as I was preparing to come here, the last few weeks, of course, top of mind was Trivago's recent report with sliding growth. Stock prices have been trending down for several months. But now it turns out that it's not just you. You were joined by Expedia, TripAdvisor, and then, of course, the other mega OTA Priceline, definitely running into some challenging times. And everyone here, I think these couple of days, is really looking for answers. We got some really interesting perspective on it in Jake's session this morning. But what do you think? Why do you think is online travel, why is it looking so vulnerable right now?
I mean, we heard that a couple of times. Stock market is really a thing that is very hard to judge short term, the business in the short term. And I think we are very glad that we are a very rational company. We are very German in that sense. We look at data, we look at the business and how it is going. And I think looking at the current situation, what we have done, we have looked at what are internal factors that we can directly influence and what are external factors. Internally, we strongly believe the fundamentals of our business haven't changed. The things we do, so building a global brand, building a better search experience that is more customized, faster, and building a stronger coverage with our advertisers, that is what we believe delivers value for our business and improves what we do as a company. And then talking about the other side, the external factors that you cannot directly influence, I think what, at least from our side, yes, we see a change, but there have always been changes. Advertisers coming on board, OTAs, coming on board, leaving, changing the mix of market, changing the mix of inventory.
This is pretty big change, though, at a time that you started out the year looking really good. You were sort of, it's a different,
Yes.
It seems like a really significant change. And you cited pullback from, your biggest spenders as the problem. And why do you think that is? Why the pullback?
That is what I'm trying to explain. For us, it's not surprising that these things are happening. They have happened in the past. What is just more, it's just the change that it's more visible, today. And what we have seen is true. We have seen bigger advertisers increasing spend end of last year, beginning of this year, first half. Last Q4 2016 we grew 70%, in Q1 67, Q2 67%, and that has been fueled by advertisers increasing their spend. And now we see advertisers decreasing their spend on meta search. And that is experimenting what the reasons for that are. We can't predict. I'm sure they have good reasons for that. I think what's important is that we don't see huge structural changes, and we heard that from Glenn Priceline yesterday, that he's not seeing any structural changes. And what are the rules in the online world, and what made the online world so successful is data and rational decision making. Now, at the end, you look at what is the most attractive channel to acquire traffic from. And that's what referred to is there structural change. At the end, you're trading off where do you acquire high intent travel from. And we are doing our best to do that, and being a good channel to acquire traffic.
There are some real changes behind it, though, right? So consolidation is definitely one. Suppliers going really aggressive for direct bookings. Google is a bigger presence in the marketplace. So there are some actual changes. But I want to ask, are you seeing more pullback from OTAs or from suppliers?
We don't. It's we are a marketplace where some suppliers spend more, some spend less. Generally, we see a very strong engagement from suppliers, being individual hotels or hotel chains, being very active and fostering very strong engagement. We have added dozens of new hotel brands in the past year and have expanded their exposure on trivago. But they are going through challenging situation, and I think it is a development that we would like to be faster, so faster development that suppliers are embracing the direct channel, but they go through starting from structural changes, setting up marketing teams into their organization that have hands-on the channels, have data-driven people that manage marketing, to having hands-on the product, the booking engine that needs to be optimized, and both needs to work hand in hand. And these are people structural changes where a lot of suppliers have gone through in the past.
What did Glenn say yesterday? I think it was "In God We Trust" and everyone else bring data. So one of the things that trivago has said it's going to do is to pursue smaller players.
Yes.
Look at smaller hotels and OTAs. So how long is that long tail? Is there enough to make up for some drop in spending by the biggest players?
Absolutely, yeah. So when we look at the share that these long tail players have received, it has significantly increased, but it is still, for the reasons that I explained, for structural changes that have to be done in these organizations. We also started providing technology, integration of technology with companies that are not native technology companies.
Is that referring to your investment in PMS software and the work on helping partners with Booking Funnel?
Our express booking initiative, our technology for hotels, so anything that helps, bringing, in this case, individual hotels into the digital age, make them competitive, give them a booking engine, but also hotel chains or like medium, small OTAs, helping them in technology. We have seen very positive results on that. It is still a long way to go that they are becoming an even bigger share at trivago.
So I want to talk a little bit about TripAdvisor. As we saw yesterday in Alice's presentation, TripAdvisor leads on traffic by a big margin. They lead on referrals, and they're really coming after you with that dated search. They're even back with the cute little owl ads. They're on TV next to you. What's going to decide between the two of you who comes out ahead?
I think whoever delivers the better answer to the traveler will be the one where travelers will go to. And that is what we are focusing a lot on, building a better search experience. So you find the best price is a basic thing, but it's an expectation that's there. But creating a better answer to a search experience and giving you a personalized result. And we believe we are in a very strong position because we have 1,400 people just focusing on these problems and nothing else. And that puts us in a position, compared to other players in the market, that we can solve problems and complexities that others can't. And
So
I think
let's
that's
talk
an
about
important-
personalization then. What, are you happy with the progress that you're making?
Yeah, we have done huge amount of changes from internally changing our structures, changing a lot of the tech backbone, acquiring, Triple was a recent acquisition that we have done. We have built an engineering team in Amsterdam that has a strong focus on data science, machine learning. There's a great university there, and that's why we decided to put our hub there. And the two things that are important, very simple, is profiling. Sounds simple, is not simple in action. One side is the user profile, understanding what you want, what your desires you have for a hotel, and the other side is what is a hotel really good at. And that is where we have invested a lot of time into, where we have already tested a lot, and where we will keep testing way more.
TripAdvisor already has so much of that information. Years of reviews and so much traffic that they should be able to crack that.
We also have a lot of traffic and a lot of information.
All right, we'll see. So, how much more important? We've talked a little bit throughout these couple days about platforms and voice, in-home assistance, and chat-based interfaces. How much more important does personalization become when you shift, from desktop to mobile, and then, perhaps eventually booking through those platforms?
Yeah, I think there are two cool things about that. One, solving the AI conversational search context is personalization is key. So when you look at the desktop world, you had a big screen, 20 results that you probably were looking at. Then you look at mobile, which maybe you look at 5, 10 hotels, and then in a voice environment or a conversation environment, you want an answer. You maybe look at one hotel that you want to be close to what you look for. You look maybe at the second, the third one, but then you give up and will never use this service again. Very likely. Maybe you try again, but that is the frustration point. We believe who will give this answer will win. And that's where we put the efforts in. The other cool thing about that is the new environments, the voice platforms that are being built, being an Alexa, being a Siri, and so on, they can shift more demand online and more users searching online. And we have
search that's happening offline now would happen online because of
the more easy you make it for people to search and book a hotel through. It's still, you need to go to a desktop, you need to go to a search site. If you just take out your phone and talk to it,
we gotta stop talking to people.
It's an adoption that will drive more demand there, and we will have a bigger diversity of channels where we can get traffic to our trivago, or in a bot environment where people will talk, I want a hotel in Miami for my family, my pet, close to a beach, and I wanted to find it from trivago, and we believe that will happen if we have the better answer to that question.
Why would a traveler, what do you have to do to get a traveler to say that at this point?
You have to be very good in what you are suggesting, and you need to have the trust that you give the best price and the best recommendation. It's all about convenience, and especially those who will adopt this environment. They are about speed, convenience, and if then my expectations are met, that I have made travels that trivago recommended me, and they are significantly better than I had previously, that are the moments when I will use this way of searching. Yeah?
So a couple days ago, you had an announcement that is an answer to something I think people have been speculating about for some time. You're bringing alternative accommodations onto trivago via HomeAway. What do you expect as far as how much will travelers want to search and compare alternative accommodations alongside hotels?
So we have been discussing that a lot, and there is this question, will there be one universal search or will there be a vertical in the vertical? Yeah? And we have a strong belief that a universal search is where, as a universal search, we have a high opportunity there. I mean, we have a lot of traffic that we can even promote apartment as an alternative to a hotel. And your decision is not necessarily to say, I want to have an apartment. Very often the decision way is, I have this budget, I want a room in this and this location, and I would consider different types of accommodation. In fact, there are different accommodations today, right? There's B&Bs, there are hostels, there are hotels, and now there are apartments as well, and they are living, we believe they can live in harmony next to each other, and we just give travelers a better choice. And the main motive why we say accommodation is important is travelers' expectations change, and we want to be catering for these expectations and give the traveler a better choice on trivago. And the HomeAway integration will allow us to be testing more what we can do and how we can personalize, because the challenge along with that is whom do we show this type of inventory without disappointing hotel bookers that want to.
Right, and so with just HomeAway, though, you don't currently actually have an alternative accommodation meta. It's just integrated with hotels. But are you going to be bringing on, is there a vision for bringing on other providers of alternative accommodations?
I think the great thing is there's hundreds of alternative accommodation players out there that have inventory, and we will be talking more to those, the bigger we see the opportunity is. I think HomeAway now gives us the opportunity to understand better how we can make these two worlds live together, and we will have conversations. And that can be something we expand, yes.
So in Frederick Lalonde from Hopper just shared their new hotel product, and one of the characteristics of it I find really interesting is this very visual and sort of video nature of the search, of the search results, and it seems very friendly to the Instagram and Snap era. Have you played with and experimented with that? Can we expect a change in how you're displaying hotels?
I think you can expect changes, and we're constantly testing different options to display hotels, and we will keep doing that, definitely, yes. All
right, so this time is flying, and we're almost done. I want to use some images for this last bit. I'm just going to put a couple things up and ask you a question about them, and we'll do it pretty quick because I've got several. So, which trivago guy is having a better 2017?
Quick fun fact: this on the left side is on the left side. This is a trivago employee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we made him becoming the actor.
India, right?
Yes, in India.
Is that the first time you did that? You had a
First time
trivago employee do that.
First time we did that, we tried to find somebody, but we couldn't find anybody. Somebody suggested.
And he's become a bit of a sensation,
absolutely.
I understand.
Yes.
So,
but
right.
I mean, I love both guys. Yeah.
So who is having a better 2017? Just this year? It's not that hard.
Abhinav, definitely.
Next.
India, one of our fastest growing markets.
So of these two, I don't know if you recognize these logos, but who made better moves in hotel search in 2017?
I love Google as a company. They're solving so many big problems in the world, and I believe they have done great efforts in doing good steps there, yes.
All right, next. So China and India, if you could be the #1 hotel search platform in China or India in 10 years, which market would you take?
Definitely China.
Next. So you had this announcement about private accommodations. Which of these two segments do you think has a more interesting future in meta search, flights or tours and activities?
At trivago, there's no future, no foreseeable future for any of these.
All right. Not going into flights, or okay. And then we've got one of these, of course, is no longer with us. But which of these two brands do you think has had a more interesting story? Which would you read a book about?
From a history perspective, Lufthansa has developed so many things and has done a lot of great things to pioneering in the airline space. So, what was the question?
Which do you think has had a more interesting story? So
Lufthansa, yes,
history,
due to their
okay.
history.
And one more, I understand that any respectable German will have an opinion on this. Which brand is closer to your heart?
Tesla.
All right. Thank you, Johannes Thomas.
Thank you.
Where others see destruction, we see hope. Together, we can build beyond disaster. Together, a better world is possible.